Session of Pro Tools, we're going to be working with a little bit more audio at the same time, learning how to edit and put a lot of people together, balance them out, and just play with having an ensemble recorded. In this case, we went ahead and recorded every single person individually so that we could play with every person. So at this point, we have just girls. I have just the girls in. I'm going to take all the guys out and just have the girls in. So we'll go down here and make sure that the girls are unmuted. And at this point, as you can also see, we did pairings as well for different ensembles of different people. But we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on having the girls here in the beginning. So we have all the girls playing here. So we have Leah, Hannah, Crystal, Olivia, Hunter, Rebecca, Ashley, just Michaela, Cassandra. Okay, so we got a couple of girls there. So we're just going to listen and see how that sounds. So as you can see, we really can't hear the vocals because we have our accompanying track a little bit louder than everybody else. So at this point, what we can do is we can either A, boost all the people up, or even better, we can just take down the volume of the whole entire recording track. So we're going to take it down to about something like negative 10 or something like that. Get as close as we can. So we'll start it back at the beginning and see how it goes. So as you can see, we have a pretty good blend for the most part, but there's a couple people who are maybe sticking out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and solo out one girl up here and just listen to what she sounds like just here. So we know what she sounds like. She sounds pretty good and she's balanced. Now we're going to go ahead and solo two of them out here and just slowly work our way through. It must have been moonlight, way up in the blue. It must have been moonlight that led me straight to you. So as the marching band's kind of warming up here, we're still going to continue the video. But when you think about it, both of these girls sound pretty well balanced together, and we really don't have to worry about them. So now we're going to add a third girl in and just see what happens when we have three girls singing instead of just two. Way up in the blue, it must have been moonlight that led me straight to you. So as we can tell, our balance of all three girls are actually pretty well. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a fourth girl in at this point. It must have been moonlight, way up in the blue. It must have been moonlight that led me straight to you. So as you can hear that, it sounds like all four girls are pretty well blended. So I think we have a pretty well good balance of so far of all the girls. So we're going to head in and we're going to solo all of these girls, and we're going to come down here and focus on some of the guys. So we're going to see what some of these guys sound like. So we're just going to play one right here. How's that?
Blue, it must have been moonglow that led me straight to you.
So he sounds pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and unsolo him. And we're going to come down here and we're going to go... he was a tenor, so we're going to look for a bass. So here's a bass. I know he's a bass. So we're going to come right here, right there. Just see how it sounds. Give me 1 second. I forgot to change. So one of the outputs here, I changed it back now, but one of the mistakes I made is I had not put all of these into the correct outputs. So we'll fix that quick. Like I said, it's very essential to make sure you have if you're listening back at it, into channel 1 as an output. So we're going to go ahead and see what Quinn sounds like.
Moon glow, way up in the blue. It must have been moon glow that led me straight to you.
So as we can tell, he sounds pretty good as well. So I think we have everybody almost good to play with. So we're going to go ahead and unmute everybody. So we're going to go ahead and make sure Nate's unmuted. All of them are unmuted. So we're going to wait for the marching band quick. Oh, they stopped. Okay. So we're going to play it right from here from the beginning to see how everybody...
It must have been moon glow, way up in the blue. It must have been moon glow that led me straight to you.
So as we can tell, everything sounds actually pretty well, and they are all pretty well blended. Now, one of the things I told you about earlier is the ensembles. So maybe I want to add some of the doubles of people coming back in. So we're going to add an ensemble 1 in, ensemble 2 in, ensemble 3, and 3B, and 4. And we're just going to see what everybody, when we add multiples of people in as well.
It must have been moon glow, way up in the blue. It must have been moon glow that led me straight to you. I still see it.
So as you can tell, we have a pretty well balanced with everything in there. Now, the whole reason that is all is we come in here, and if you look at the volume, I have everything kind of balanced out at 0. But one of the key factors in recording is when I recorded everybody here, they all stood in front of the microphone, and I have an X on the floor. So they all stand at the same exact space, so they're not too close, not too far away, just the right place to be. Now, however, everybody has to sing the same volume. So you have somebody who's a little bit quieter, you need to be a little closer to the microphone compared to further away. Now, if they're naturally loud singing, you want to back them up a little bit. But it's finding that balance of different singers. So one of the other things we need to focus on is I want to put these people into groups. So I'm going to put them into groups of the girls and the guys. So down here, we can see that we have a group all. That's just where everybody's placed into. But if we go up here, and we're going to go to... Let me find it quick. There's so many different things you can have here. So I remember correctly, down here in groups, you can hit the arrow button right next to the group here and hit new group. So this new group, we're going to call it all girls. And now what we ended is it's going to be a type. It's going to be a mix and edit. You want to make sure it stays in there as a mix and edit. So over here, currently in the group, we have everybody in. Now this one here just put everybody in. Now, we're going to take some of these people out. So I don't want Nate in there. I don't want Josh in there. I don't want Quinn. I don't want Colton. I don't want David. Hunter is in there. Rebecca, Ashley, Michaela, Cassandra. Now we don't want their ensembles in there because we're going to put them in their own group because they're different from everybody else. We're going to leave. We're going to take the audio track out there as well. So now we just have girls left in there. So we're going to hit OK. We now have all girls in there. Now, in here we can do another group, and we're going to call it all guys. So over here, again, we're going to go through here and we're going to go, okay, we'll remove the girls. So take all the girls out of this group. again, we want to take the ensembles out. And then come up with a track. So now we're just left with the guys. So we're going to hit OK. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and add a new group for all the ensembles to be in as well, because we want to keep all the ensembles together. So now you ended up with another one is everybody's in here again. So we're going to take the girls out. So remove all the girls, all the guys, so while I'm taking all these people out, another thing we have to keep in consideration is when we're splitting this all up, that we want to make sure we don't make any mistakes, because when you make an adjustment for a group's volume, it definitely affects anybody you might have added extra in there. Especially if you're somebody who sings a little bit louder than everybody else, you're going to find a result in adjusting the group's volume. So now we have a group for everybody. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here. Just so you know, everything here, you can adjust how big something is and just how in general. So here, like, I can make this channel here a little bit smaller. And I can make it a little bit bigger. I can move this toolbar. I can make this a little bit bigger so I can see everybody's names, or I can see all the groups. Here, we really only need it's like right about there. And then we can see almost everybody's names. So it's a little bit small, but there we go. Now we can read everything clearly, what we can see. Same thing here. You can, over here with the clips over here where it shows all the clips, you can bring the clips in more so you can see all the clips you have. The clips are just a breakdown of how many actual recordings are broken into that channel or have been from that specific named channel. So up here, if you look, like Ashley here only had one take, but you can look down here, like David, for example, had 5 different takes that he ended up taking because he took another one here. So that just helps you to keep track of how many actual clips you're taking at a time as well. Now, yesterday I talked to you about moving bars. This is what this one here does. This one here is just how many waves. It's like the zoom here, but it gets just how big the waveforms need to be. So if you want to see more specific into the waves, you can do that, or you can bring it back down. You can also do it individually. So like if I click on this specific group, now this here I recognize that I'm clicking on. I don't know what it was recognizing, but so now if I wanted to come in here and edit this all girls group, so now what we can end up doing is we can see all the different tracks in here. We can modify them. We can see how many tracks are in a group. Basically, the groupings allows you to see, help you separate all your tracks. So if you just want, you can also in the I forget where it was exactly, but you can, in the grouping, you can allow the groups to be different volumes. So if I want to control the groups overall, we can suspend all groups, we can modify the groups, which just allows you. By default, you have an all group. You must keep everything in there, otherwise nothing will work at all. Also, another thing we want to focus on is we're going to get into the next video is going to be on like the audio suite, doing EQ, dynamics, pitch perfect, reverb, delay, modulation, harmonic, noise reduction, dither, sound field, and other things like that. Basically, in the next, we're going to focus on audio suite next.